I know the layout. I'll tell you about it on the way.
Sylvester Stallone is an American actor, screenwriter, and director who has gone from poverty to a multi-million-dollar fortune. In this video, you will learn how he achieved such success and where he is now. Sylvester Stallone, how Rambo lives and how he spends his millions. Sylvester was born on July 6, 1946 in New York. His mother, Jacqueline, or Jackie, was a big fan of actor Tyrone Power and wanted to name her firstborn in his honor. But upon receiving the birth certificate, she saw a different name. The boy's father, Frank, gave him the name Michael Sylvester Gardenzio Stallone. Frank was an immigrant from Sicily, owned a small chain of hairdressers, and was infamous for his violent temper. Jackie, who grew up in a wealthy family of a successful lawyer, connected her life with a man who was a serial cheater and a tyrant at home. The first years of his life, Sylvester spent most of his time in the house of a nanny hired by his parents. He saw them on weekends, but these meetings were very reserved. The boy felt unloved. In 1950, the family had a second son, Frank Jr., and their wealth grew. But Stallone Sr. didn't change, so in 1956, Jackie filed for divorce. Sylvester stayed with his father and tried desperately to earn his love, but it was in vain.
These your parents?
Yeah, that's both of them there.
Is this you?
Yeah, that's me when I was 8 years old. That's the Italian stallion when he was a baby.
He had other problems, like his birth defect. Due to an obstetrician's error, the left half of Sylvester's face remained paralyzed, which affected his speech. Peers bullied him, so Stallone decided that he needed to build muscle mass. For this purpose, he used car parts from the landfill and construction materials. And when he got older, he almost lived in the gym. By 13, Sylvester was expelled from 14 schools because of his aggressive behavior. At 15, he found himself at the Charlotte Hall Military Academy. At the same time, he moved in with his mother, but she would ignore him. In her entire life, she only kissed her son once, right after the divorce. Back then, Stallone started boxing and became interested in soccer. After receiving a high school diploma, he entered college, where he began acting in the student theater. Then in 1965, Sylvester went to study in Switzerland at the American College while working as a personal trainer. Later, there was a theory that he did it to evade serving in the army and being sent to Vietnam. In 1991, the actor filed a libel suit against a tabloid and won the case. Upon returning to America in 1967, Sylvester enrolled at the University of Miami as a drama major, finally deciding to connect his life with performing. In 1969, Stallone dropped out of the university and decided to conquer the New York theaters. The young man tried to act in films, but cameo roles didn't solve financial problems. At some point, Sylvester found himself homeless, sleeping at the train station for 3 weeks. Then he came across an ad about casting for the movie The Party at Kitty and Studs. It was an adult movie, but there wasn't much choice. For 2 days of filming in 1970, Sylvester received $200. When he became famous, the film was re-released as Italian Stallion. After several other tiny film roles, in 1971, the aspiring actor took part in an erotic theatrical production of Score, which was shown in 23 theaters in New York. For the most part, the directors refused Stallone because of his speech impediment, so he earned his living as a doorman, bouncer in a restaurant, and even cage cleaner in a menagerie. Sylvester shared an apartment in New York with his girlfriend Sasha Zak. They married in 1974 and later had 2 sons, Sage and Sergio. The youngest has been diagnosed with autism and doesn't appear in public. The elder Sage managed to star in several films, but died young in 2012 from a heart attack. In 1974, Sylvester got a role in the movie The Lords of Flatbush. According to him, for it, he received 25 t-shirts as a payout, after which he moved to Hollywood. In 1975, the actor starred in the films The Prisoner of Second Avenue, Capone, Farewell, My Lovely, episodes of several TV series, and the fantastic action movie Death Race 2000. For the latter, Sylvester received $700 a week. In March of the same year, the actor watched a Muhammad Ali fight and got so inspired that he decided to write a film script about a boxer who never gives up. He did not leave the house for 92 hours while writing, and the story was a success by pure luck. Stallone auditioned for another movie, but he was turned down. During the audition, he mentioned that he also wrote scripts, and the producers asked him to send them the Rocky script. At first, the studio offered Sylvester $150,000 with the condition that another actor would play the lead role. After long negotiations, the producers agreed that Rocky would be Stallone himself. For this, the actor agreed to reduce his payout to $23,000. They say that at that moment, there was only $106 in his bank account, and he could not afford to keep his dog, so he ended up selling it for $50. To get the pet back, Sylvester had to pay $3,000 and promise a small role in Rocky. By the way, the Bull Mastiff also starred in the film.
Look at his face, 64 fights. Look at that nose. See that nose? That nose ain't never been broken. 64 fights. I've had guys busted on it. I had guys chewing on it, twisting it, punching it. I mean, whack, boom. These guys are hitting my nose all the time. Never broke. I'm very proud of that. It's not rare. That's rare.
Filming was difficult, as was the preparation for it. Stallone even quit smoking when he realized that he couldn't last 5 minutes in the ring without being out of breath. The movie turned out to be incredibly successful and received 10 Oscar nominations. At that time, Stallone became the third actor in history nominated for this award simultaneously for Best Actor and Best Screenplay. The creators won 3 statuettes, including one for Best Film. After the film Fist and Stallone's directorial debut, Paradise Alley, he released the sequel to Rocky. While preparing for filming, Sylvester agreed to compete with his coach in the bench press and seriously injured his pectoral muscle. Since then, half of his chest has been more sinewy than the other. In 1981, the action movie Nighthawks and the sports drama Escape to Victory about a soccer team of World War II prisoners were released. After filming, Sylvester said that playing soccer was harder for him than boxing in Rocky. By the way, the next film released was Rocky III, for which Sylvester received $7 million, followed by the premiere of First Blood.
Don't push it. I'll give you a war you won't believe.
Stallone, as the screenwriter, participated in the casting for the lead role, rejected several candidates, and eventually played it himself. He received $3.5 million for his work. In 1984, Sylvester received a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He also tried a genre change by starring in the musical comedy Rhinestone, for which he received $4 million and an anti-award Golden Raspberry. For the sake of this role, he refused to work in the films Romancing the Stone and Beverly Hills Cop that became super hits, which he later greatly regretted. A year later, critics gave a lukewarm rating to the continuation of Rambo's story, although President Ronald Reagan praised Sylvester Stallone for creating a new symbol for the American Army. For this film, the actor again received the Golden Raspberry. More success awaited Rocky IV, for which he received $12 million and the Golden Raspberry Anti-Award as the worst director.
See, I fight, so you don't have to fight. 'Cause I want you to use your head for something instead of a punching bag like I do.
Your head doesn't look like a punching bag.
Meanwhile, Stallone's wife was tired of enduring her husband's numerous infidelities and filed for divorce, demanding compensation of $33 million. The last straw was Sylvester's affair with Bridget Nielsen. They met on the set of Rocky IV and got married in 1985, but the marriage lasted only 2 years. In the end, Bridget sued Stallone for $1 million. In 1986, Stallone starred in the action movie Cobra, for which he received $13 million.
Hey, dirtbag. You're a lousy shot. I don't like lousy shots. You wasted a kid. For nothing. Now I think it's time to waste you.
Interestingly, the main character's car, a 1950 Mercury Monterey, belonged to Sylvester in real life. 9 years later, the vehicle was stolen from his garage. It was returned in 2009, and along with the car, he got $3 million in compensation. Stallone's next project was the film Over the Top, for $13 million. And in 1988, Rambo 3 was released. For his work, the actor received $16 million and a Golden Raspberry. In the next few years, the films Lock Up, Tango and Cash, Rocky V, Oscar, Demolition Man, and Cliffhanger were released. And for each of them, the actor received $15 million. Sylvester starred in Cliffhanger to overcome his fear of heights.
You want to do it? Do it. Now. You live with it.
At the same time, Stallone appeared as a police sergeant whose mother meddles with investigations in the comedy Stop, or My Mom Will Shoot.
Mom, stay out of this, okay?
Joe, wave to the crowd.
Mom,
Joe.
God damn it!
Hey, you don't swear to your mother.
Hey, butt out! Hey, my mother, relax.
Hey, it's your mother, so you do what she tells you to do.
This film, for which he was again awarded the Golden Raspberry, the actor considers the worst in his career. He agreed to star in it to spite Arnold Schwarzenegger, who spread a rumor that he wanted to get this role himself. Of course, Arnold was just pranking his friend, but Sylvester didn't find out about it until many years later. In the late 1980s, Stallone met model Jennifer Flavin. He called her his ideal, selfless, loving, and so patient. However, this did not prevent Sylvester from constantly having affairs. In 1995, Stallone reined himself in and begged for Jennifer's forgiveness on his knees and hasn't been seen cheating since. A few years later, the couple got married and had 3 daughters. Interestingly enough, when the journalist from the publication Star decided to give Sylvester an album with all his partners for his 50th birthday, it turned out that there were 595 of them. Among the actor's lovers were the singer Cher, who later called the man a Neanderthal, models Linda Evangelista, Cindy Crawford, Naomi Campbell, and Janice Dickinson. Meanwhile, the actor added several movies to his filmography. Among them were the films The Specialist, with a payout of $12 million, action films Assassins and Judge Dredd for $15 million each, and for the film Daylight, Sylvester earned $17.5 million and overcame another fear of confined spaces. To diversify his resume and play a more serious role, Stallone agreed to star in the thriller Copland for only $80,000.
There's got to be a way out of this for everyone. So I said, why don't we all go in tomorrow together?
Freddie, I invited men, cops, good men to live in this town. And these men to make a living.
According to him, it was an interesting experience and he enjoyed it, but it did not help his career in any way, as well as his health, because of weight gain for the role. Sylvester got sciatica, heart palpitations, digestive problems, and headaches. This was followed by the failed comedy, an Alan Smithy film, Burn Hollywood Burn, the cartoon Ants, where the actor voiced one of the roles. In 2000, the action movie Get Carter premiered, for which Sylvester received $20 million. In the same year, he was awarded another Golden Raspberry as the worst actor of the century. Sylvester wrote the script and starred in his next project, Driven, in 2001, for which he received $20 million. This film became famous as the most unrealistic film about motorsports. Then, after the films Detox, with a payout of $20 million, Avenging Angelo, Shade, the comedy Spy Kids 3D, Game Over, for which he received the Golden Raspberry, and the TV series Las Vegas, Stallone returned to his legendary characters in both Rocky Balboa and Rambo.
And there isn't one of us that doesn't want to be someplace else. But this is what we do. Who we are.
In 2007, he was caught importing banned hormones from Australia to build muscle mass. The actor pleaded guilty and eventually paid more than $11,000 in fines and court costs. In 2009, Stallone appeared in the Bollywood film Damn Love, and a year later, he assembled the old guard and presented the action movie The Expendables to the audience.
Yeah, should have shot him when I had a chance.
Big Barney Ross.
Bigger Trent Mouse.
What are you doing? Praying for Brooke?
Could be.
Despite being nominated for the Golden Raspberry for directing, the film received high ratings and paid off 3 times its cost at the box office. In addition, The Expendables made Sylvester the only person in the history of Hollywood who starred in films that got first places in the box office charts for 5 decades in a row. At the same time, on the set, he once again had to struggle because Sylvester suffered 14 injuries, as well as bronchitis and shingles. In 2011, Sylvester's voice could be heard in the film Zookeeper, and in the same year, he was inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame. Some fans of this sport were not thrilled because Stallone didn't appear in the ring but only played in the movies. By the way, the actor is connected with boxing not only through his role as Rocky. In the 1980s, he was the manager of a boxing match, and in the 2000s, he launched the reality show The Contender, where participants fought for a contract in the professional ring. In 2012, the sequel to The Expendables was released, which turned out to be even more spectacular, and Stallone earns $15 million. And soon, he added another movie to his filmography called Bullet to the Head. Stallone received $12 million for that work. This was followed by collaboration with Iron Arnold in the action movie Escape Plan, for which Sylvester received $10 million. The sports film Grudge Match, the drama Reach Me, and the third part of The Expendables. For all these films, he received $15 million. In 2015, Stallone voiced the cartoon Ratchet & Clank and presented another continuation of the story about the legendary boxer Creed, for which he received the Golden Globe Award.
You're gonna take a beat, you're gonna take this, you're gonna get knocked down, you're gonna get up, and you're gonna see if you got the right thing. But you gotta work hard. I swear to God, if you're not gonna do it, I'm out.
After 3 years, the second part was released, and between them, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and the cartoon Animal Crackers. Soon, Stallone appeared in such films as Backtrace, the second and third parts of the fantastic action movie Escape Plan. In 2019, the fifth film about Rambo, with the telling title Rambo: Last Blood, was released.
I want you to feel my rage, my hate, when I reach into your chest and rip out your heart!
According to critics, the ending of the story didn't turn out to be very successful, but Sylvester is sure that Rambo can still be called the personification of young soldiers and wants one of the directors to shoot a prequel about his childhood and youth. In 2021, the actor played King Shark in the superhero action movie The Suicide Squad, based on the comics of the same name, and in August 2022, appeared as an aging superhero in Samaritan. Stallone has big plans ahead. He recently returned to television in the crime series Tulsa King, will appear in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and is preparing to release the fourth part of The Expendables. And he also intends to expand his franchise by shooting a TV series and a female version of the beloved blockbuster. It also became known that Sylvester is preparing a reality show with his family members. Although Stallone mostly appears on screen with a gun at the ready, in real life, after one of his friends was shot, he calls for a ban on guns in the United States. Since childhood, Sylvester has been fond of painting. 2 of his works were even sold for $90,000, but this is only a small part of his fortune, estimated at $400 million. In addition to movies, Sylvester wrote several books about training, tried to launch a sports nutrition company, unsuccessfully, and published the magazine Sly with help tips and interviews with celebrities. This idea was also not very successful, with only 4 issues published. Another business failure happened with the Planet Hollywood restaurants. Stallone co-owned the chain with Bruce Willis and Arnold Schwarzenegger, but the establishments went bankrupt. Realizing that he was best at producing media content, in 2018, Sylvester founded his own film studio. He also sometimes agrees to star in commercials. He promoted the British bakery chain Warburton's and even Japanese sausages. But perhaps the most famous advertising campaign with him is the one for the Versace home collection. He appeared together with Claudia Schiffer as Adam and Eve. By the way, Stallone was friends with Gianni Versace and was a regular guest of the Italian fashion house shows. But the actor refused one advertising offer It was in the late 80s when an American beer brand offered him $5 million on the condition that he cut his hair. Sylvester Stallone spends his millions on an impressive collection of cars. In his garage, there are Bugatti Veyron, Aston Martin DBS, Bentley Continental GTC, Ferrari 612 Scaglietti, Ferrari 599 GTB Florano, Mercedes SL65, Mercedes E-Class, Porsche Panamera, Chevrolet Camaro, Ford Mustang, one of the most popular classic cars, Corvette 68, and even a rare Ford from 1932. We must not forget the luxury Cadillac Escalade. Stallone invested more than $400,000 in the design of this car. In addition, Sylvester loves motorcycles and expensive watches. He has a gold Rolex Submariner with a black dial, the cost of which is $20,000, as well as a GMT Master 2 Rolex made with 18-karat white gold for $7,500. However, one should not think that Stallone spends his millions only on himself. For decades, he auctioned off the original props from Rocky and eventually raised about $10,000 for the Canadian Diabetes Association. Stallone donated several million more to the project to combat childhood epilepsy. In the last decades, Sylvester has lived in a mansion in Beverly Hills. Its interiors varied from pompous neoclassicism with columns, curtains, gilding, and statues to modern bright decor. At the end of 2021, Adele bought this house for $58 million. Today, Sylvester owns a mansion in Palm Beach, Florida, with a pool and an outdoor jacuzzi worth $35.4 million, and an estate in Hidden Hills, California, bought in February this year for $18.2 million. The house has 5 bedrooms with bathrooms, a kitchen with granite countertops, a dining room, and also a stable on the territory. Previously, Stallone owns a villa in Miami with 3 guest houses, which he sold for $24 million. A house in Coconut Grove, Florida. The actor received $16 million for it in 1999, as well as a house in La Quinta, California. Sylvester and his wife bought a Mediterranean-style mansion in 2010 for $4.5 million and sold it in 2020 for $3.1 million. Sylvester Stallone is a whole era in cinema. Despite critical reviews of his acting and a string of nominations for the Golden Raspberry, he became a fan favorite. And what is your favorite Stallone role?
No, you're not as fast as you think.
I'm beginning to sense that.
Aquaman, how Jason Momoa lives and how much he earns. Jason Momoa, full name Joseph Jason Namakia Momoa, was born in Honolulu in sunny Hawaii on August 1, 1979. He is the only child of artist Joseph and photographer Connie. The actor's father is a native Hawaiian, while his mother has Indian, German, and Irish roots. Jason's parents divorced when he was a baby. The boy stayed with his mother and moved to Iowa. From an early age, he showed off his athletic abilities and spent his free time outdoors. Growing up, he was interested in mountaineering and axe throwing. After high school, Jason enrolled in a local college where he studied marine biology. As a student, he traveled the world, studying painting in Paris and Buddhism in Tibet. But in his last year, he dropped out of school, deciding to return to the Hawaiian Islands. He was attracted to the ocean and beach life, and he also wanted to establish a connection with his father. Momoa graduated from one of Honolulu's prestigious colleges. In addition, the future actor studied wild animals at the University of Colorado. Soon he was noticed by the famous Japanese designer Takeo Kikuchi, who invited him to come with him as a model. Jason participated in numerous photo shoots, as well as in local beauty contests, and he also worked as a salesman at a surfer store. In 1999, having won the title of Model of the Year on the islands, he began his acting career. The newcomer's debut was his role as Jason Owain in the 10th and 11th seasons of the popular TV series Baywatch. It is of note that the creators of the project preferred Momoa out of the 1,300 candidates, despite the fact that he had no idea how to behave on the set. His character appeared in 40 episodes, and after the series ended, in the full-length spin-off Baywatch Hawaiian Wedding. By the way, during the filming of Baywatch, Jason met actress Simone McKinnon and started an affair. According to some information, it was she who insisted that the Hawaiian attend an acting school, which he graduated from, not really hoping for success. However, Momoa, already by 2004, appeared in the series North Shore, filled with seascapes and semi-naked models. In the same year, he played a small role in the comedy Johnson Family Vacation. The film was released on the big screen and received a lot of flattering reviews from critics and the attention of the audiences. But the real success came to the young actor a year later, when he appeared in the role of Ronan Dex in the TV series Stargate Atlantis.
I heard you died and came back to life.
Pretty much. There's a few things I still need to do.
A recognizable feature of the hero's image was his thick dreadlocks, which Momoa decided to cut off for the final 5th season because his neck ached due to the heavy hairstyle. In order not to disappoint fans, a wig was made. Thanks to his participation in the project, he received offers for roles that later helped him become world famous. Meanwhile, Jason and Simone announced their engagement, but their wedding did not take place. In 2006, the couple broke up. While still in the relationship, Momoa met with the ex-wife of musician Lenny Kravitz, actress Lisa Bonet. The actor was 12 years younger than his lover. He first saw her when the series The Cosby Show was released, where Bonet played the main role. Jason was only 8, but he immediately fell in love with the show and promised himself to meet her at all costs, which happened in 2005. Their first meeting took place in one of the jazz clubs in New York. Jason and Lisa spent the whole night talking at the bar. They looked as though they had known each other all their lives. At the time of their meeting, Jason was 26 and his beloved was 38. In addition, the actress had a daughter, but the couple decided to take their time with the wedding. By the way, the lovers look very cute together. Jason with a manly, frightening, and attractive appearance and a height of almost 6'4", and a refined petite Lisa whose height is only 5'2". The lovers perfectly complement each other. In 2007, their daughter Lola Iolani was born, which in Hawaiian means royal hawk. A year later, a son was born who was given a very unusual name, Nakoa Wolf Manakoopa Namakia, and this name has meaning. The boy was born at night during a terrible thunderstorm. Nakoa means fighter, Mana means willpower, Kawa means rain, and Po means dark. In addition, the actor is the stepfather of Lisa's daughter from her first marriage, actress and singer Zoe Kravitz, with whom they have a very warm relationship, and their pair tattoos confirm this. But not only the births of his children become important events in Momoa's life. In November 2008, during an argument in a cafe, an unknown person hit him with a broken beer mug. Jason received about 140 stitches. The traces of them became part of the famous image as an actor who almost lost his left eye. The attacker was sentenced to 5 years in prison. In 2010, Momoa, together with his friends, founded the production company Pride of Gypsies. And after performing a ritual dance of the New Zealand Maori tribe at the auditions, Jason convinced the producers and got into the cast of a new project from HBO, which was promised to turn out into a world-known series. And it turned out to be true. The series Game of Thrones was a real breakthrough. Jason got the role of the most noticeable character. The leader of the formidable Dothraki clan, Khal Drogo, the barbarian's wife, Princess and Khaleesi Daenerys Targaryen, was played by Emilia Clarke.
Anna, je Drogo, attack.
Unlike her partner, Momoa only appeared in the first season. For the sake of this role, he had to gain weight, which he did with a diet of pizza and Irish Guinness beers. After its release, the project got a cult following, and Jason Momoa in 2011 received the well-deserved award at the CinemaCon Festival in the category Rising Star. It turns out that the actor tried to stop Lisa from watching the series not only because of the love scenes with him, but he did not want her to become another fan of Game of Thrones. In the same year, a remake of the film about the legendary Conan the Barbarian was released, where the actor played the main character.
You have a name?
My name is Tamara Amalia Jorvi Karushan. And yours is?
Conan.
Conan. That's it?
How many names do I need?
Despite the fact that the film failed at the box office and received negative reviews, the role of Conan pushed his name to the top league of young actors in modern Hollywood. His task was not to imitate Arnold Schwarzenegger. In order to achieve the perfect appearance, in Jason's opinion, he trained a lot and dieted. Meanwhile, the harmony and idyllic life of the actor was almost undermined by journalists and envious people. During the premiere of the film Conan the Barbarian, he was kissed by the star of the series Charmed, Rose McGowan. The picture spread all over the internet and gave rise to rumors about the impending divorce of Momoa and Bonet. And one after another, articles appeared in the press pitying the unhappy wife, who turns a blind eye to her husband's systematic infidelities. But despite the rumors, the couple stayed together. Despite the success of Game of Thrones and a good income, after the end of filming, Jason was out of work for several years. He accumulated unpaid bills and his debts multiplied, and his family, as the actor himself admitted, even had to starve for a while. In 2012, Momoa appeared as a murderer in the film Bullet to the Head. The main role in the film was played by the legendary Sylvester Stallone.
I said I was gonna kill you.
Yeah. It's kind of fun, isn't it? Just you and me. Two professionals. Only one gets away.
The actor managed to replenish his family's budget and partially deal with debts in 2014. After the release of the film Road to Paloma, he not only played one of the main roles, but also wrote the script for the film and acted as a director and producer. One of the main roles was played by Lisa Bonet. Meanwhile, the star had several more roles, and while they did not bring him large amounts of money, they kept the family from sliding into financial issues again. The next movie is the action movie Wolves, where the actor played a werewolf, and the fantastic horror movie Debug. In this film, Momoa played an employee of the space station struck by a virtual virus. In 2016, Jason played a cannibal who fell in love with his victim in the post-apocalyptic drama The Bad Batch. The film received a special jury prize at the Venice Film Festival. In October of the same year, the world premiere of the comedy thriller Once Upon a Time in Venice took place, in which the actor also played a key role.
Hey, look who it is. What's up, Cholos? Where's my shit? Yeah, where's the shit?
A real success for Momoa turned out to be a collaboration with the DC Comics film universe, thanks to which the actor tried on the image of the superhero Aquaman, who commands water and marine life with a magic trident. For the first time in this role, he appeared before the audience in the movie Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. In August 2016, the Guinness Brewing Company began to produce a new product named after Momoa, Mano Brew, which the actor happily announced on Instagram. At the same time, he starred in the title role of the historical television series Frontier, about the rivalry of the British Hudson's Bay Company with French and American fur traders at the end of the 18th century, and also appeared on the screen as Aquaman again. So in November 2017, fans of DC Comics were able to see the collaboration between famous superheroes, Justice League.
You got no powers, no offense. This guy might be working for the enemy, we don't know. You're tripping over your feet and mine. Oof. You're gorgeous.
Participation in the film earned Momoa $4 million, but the project became a box office failure and received mixed reviews from critics and viewers, which forced the company to reconsider plans for future projects. Meanwhile, Jason and Lisa have reconsidered their relationship and sealed their marriage bonds. The ceremony was held in Topanga, California. The chamber wedding was attended only by close people. Among them were Bonet's daughter from her first marriage, Zoe, actress Alicia Vikander, and Michael Fassbender. Curiously, Zoe and Michael once had an affair, but they remained just friends. The newlyweds informed the world about the important event only a few months later, noting that the wedding was just another reason for them to get together with family and friends, and they felt like husband and wife for a long time. In her interviews, Lisa calls her husband a generous leader, which according to her gives him a rare form of masculinity. It is known that the actor thoroughly prepares for each role. He studied various martial arts techniques before appearing as Conan the Barbarian and Aquaman, and after the wedding, he started practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. In 2018, the actor appeared in all his glory in the main role in the film Aquaman, based on the comic book series of the same name by writer and screenwriter Jeff Jones.
Hey, buddy. You that fish boy from the TV?
Oh, great.
In addition to Momoa, Matt Damon and Simon Baker auditioned for the role of Aquaman. At the premiere, Jason, along with his children and crew members, performed his favorite ritual dance, which had previously brought him success with Game of Thrones. Impressive graphics simulating the underwater world, large-scale battles, and of course, Momoa's acting, menacingly waving his trident, made the film a cinematic event of the season. The film also included stars like Dolph Lundgren, William Dafoe, Nicole Kidman, Patrick Wilson, and Amber Heard embodied the image of Aquaman's beloved. And although most of the filming did not take place underwater, the conditions couldn't be called simple. They were suspended in the air, and a huge fan blew into their faces. The project turned out to be so successful that it surpassed the $1.14 billion mark at the box office, becoming the most profitable in the DC universe, while the actor himself received an impressive payout of $14 million. Also in 2018, Jason Momoa was awarded the title of the most beautiful man according to the TC Candler Internet portal. Another successful step in the actor's filmography was his work in the Canadian action movie Braven. Momoa's character is a lumberjack who has to engage in an unequal battle with a clan of drug dealers. In the same year, he had the honor to announce the winner at the Academy Awards ceremony in the nomination Best Supporting Female Role. Jason went on the stage with Helen Mirren. The actor appeared in a pink suit made of delicate velour, and he had a matching hairband on his arm. Thanks to this image, he was named the most stylish man of the event. In 2019, Momoa joined the cast of the sci-fi series for the Apple TV Plus video service See. The plot tells about people who have lost their sight, whose life changes when twins appear in the tribe who can see. Jason plays a tribal leader living on an isolated mountaintop.
How can he? This is our home. We are one, and we fight as one. Prepare for battle.
The actor approached his role with great responsibility, working closely with the project coordinator who is blind from birth, who is responsible for the correct representation of blind people on the screen. In order to experience the life of a man who sees nothing, the actor lived in a sleep mask for several weeks. He was paid $600,000 for the first episode alone. Jason has a good sense of humor. He even wanted to become a comedian on Saturday Night Live, which he admitted in the opening monologues of the show. The actor was prevented from becoming a comedian by his busy career, although he still played in several sketches. For example, Momoa as an elf who reports to Santa about the bad behavior of a 13-year-old boy. Before each role requiring impressive musculature, Momoa goes on a diet with a lot of protein, reducing carbohydrate intake. The only thing the actor can't do without is his favorite beer. However, in the summer of 2019, after seeing a picture of Jason on the beach, many were upset by how his figure differs from the screen image. But a lot of fans noted that they liked Momoa, who gained weight without extra abs even more. In 2019, Jason took the part in the promotion of the new album Ordinary Man by Ozzy Osbourne, appearing in the teaser of the song Scary Little Green Men, and voiced Aquaman in the animation project The Lego Movie 2. Fans who were surprised by the actor's published video, where he shaves off his famous beard, also know him as an environmentalist. In this way, Jason decided to draw attention to the problem of plastic and remind people of the importance of proper disposal of garbage. During the same period, the actor joined the Hawaiian protesters who opposed the installation of a 100-foot telescope on Mount Mauna Kea, which they consider sacred. Scientists wanted to install a $1.4 billion device to use it to study distant galaxies. At the same time, the Australian editorial board of GQ magazine awarded Jason Momoa the title of Person of the Year, which was a real surprise for the Hollywood actor. In social media, the artist said he hoped that the award went to him, not only for his film roles, but also for his environmental activism. In February 2020, Momoa appeared in one of the most notable advertisements at the Super Bowl. In the project by Rocket Mortgage, which promotes mortgage services, the actor appeared in a rather unusual way, losing a solid part of his hair and muscles. Also in the video, Jason's wife appears, who helps her skinny husband put a barbell on the rack. By the way, in the video about how the ad was shot, which can be found on Jason's Instagram, it is clear that Lisa can't hold back her laughter looking at her balding husband. Momoa is an avid fan of all kinds of heavy music. In an interview, he admitted that some heavy metal songs inspire him to create his characters, One of the actor's favorite groups is Arch Spire, whose members, at his invitation, played cameo roles in the TV series C, and Momoa himself, with vocalist Ali Peters, practiced the correct screaming technique for an important scene there. In addition, Jason can play guitar, ukulele, and drums. On his last birthday, the star was presented with a custom-based guitar Fender Precision. The actor's children also show interest in musical instruments. In 2021, another story about superheroes from the DC Comics universe was added to Momoa's filmography, Zack Snyder's Justice League. In the film, the characters played by Momoa, Ben Affleck, Ray Fisher, Henry Cavill, confront the invasion by Steppenwolf and his army of parademons.
Don't count on it, Batman.
Why not?
It's not like you coming here digging into my business, getting into my life. People from Atlantis tell me do this, now you say do that. I want to be left alone.
The actor also appeared in the role of gunsmith Duncan Idaho in the next film adaptation of the novel Dune by Frank Herbert.
Hey, you. Put on some muscle?
I did? A little earlier, the premiere of the movie Sweet Girl took place on Netflix, where Jason played the main role. According to critics, the picture is full of cliches, and the plot itself is quite generic. In 2023, the premiere of the film Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is scheduled, and the actor will also take part in the thriller Fast X. When he's not at work, Momoa likes to draw. He doesn't use email and doesn't like talking on the phone. Nevertheless, Jason gets along with technology. Despite the fact that his life is connected with the film industry, Momoa does not like to watch films and prefers reading. He is especially fascinated by Japanese poetry and the work of Charles Baudelaire. The actor also devotes a lot of time to training, which he has a personal instructor for. Momoa has several tattoos on his body that have a special meaning for him. On the actor's chest, there is a tattoo with the names of his children, which are written in their handwriting. The name of a deceased friend is imprinted on his finger. The traditional Hawaiian triangles on the hand are also of considerable value for the celebrity. They are made in the form of shark's teeth and are a talisman for Jason, who is a Buddhist and often visits Tibet, where he receives spiritual knowledge. In his free time, he goes hiking, kayaking, and motorcycle riding. He also enjoys archery, throwing knives and axes, roller skating, snowboarding, and cycling. Unfortunately, in January 2022, Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet announced their divorce. Now the actor's fortune totals $10 million. Before the divorce, he lived in a huge estate in the suburbs of Los Angeles worth $3.5 million. The area of land in which the estate is located is 5 acres and belongs to Jason's wife. She bought it back in 1995 and arranged it to her taste. Pets also live there, 2 half-wolves and a donkey named Freya. Jason is fond of collecting guitars, motorcycles, and cars. He has a Harley-Davidson Softail Slim, a BMW R9T Scrambler, a glamorous 1957 Harley-Davidson FLH, and an old custom bike. In addition to motorcycles, the actor has a Range Rover and a Land Rover Defender, a charming pink 1955 Cadillac nicknamed Bernadette, a Ford F-150, and a whole park full of Earth Roamer bikes. If you follow the life of Jason Momoa, you probably have noticed that he is really fond of the color baby pink. Momoa explains this by saying that pink lowers testosterone and soothes him. He has many different things of this color, which the star often wears not only in public, but also in everyday life. We must say that he's maniacally entrepreneurial. It seems that the actor starts a business literally once every 2 weeks. At the moment, Momoa is engaged in something with biodegradable beach shoes and sunglasses, nylon surf pants, pink boots and climbing bags, hiking backpacks, handmade knives, leather bags made of old things, belts, and reusable water bottles. What do you think is the reason behind Jason Momoa's success? If you like the video, leave a like and also subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything interesting.